Okay, very good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Flying the Flight Simulator with Captain Cristian here. We are in runway 36 on FsLabs A320, ready for a very interesting practice today, which is the exact opposite to what I did in my last video, which was manual flight, raw data, VOR, navigation, holding procedures, ILS approaches, all raw data manually flown, like in the 1980s, 1990s. Today we are going to do something different, which is going to be this fully managed RNP departure RNAV RNP-AR approach. So what is the plan? Well, we are here in Quito, runway 36, and we will be departing using the Prepar3d RNAV departure from runway 36. And that is an RNAV1 or RNP1 departure, and we have those certifications, so we can do that. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. GNSS is required, and again we have that. We can see GPS primary here. So airport elevation is 7910, and the procedure is climb on heading 001 or track 001 until 10,500, and then left turn southbound towards FPEC to cross at or above flight level 180, and then to REBEC to cross at or above flight level 250. The minimum that we need for this are covered, and the grading as well, we can do that. So that's basically the procedure that we're gonna do today, and we will talk about later on for the RNAV RNP-AR arrival. So let's go ahead and program that real quick here. I know I'm in the runway, and I'm only interested in our RNAV procedures. I'm not interested in taxi or passenger operation or anything else. So let's see here in options, what's our payload? 56.839, that's okay. And 61730.3, that's also okay. 61733. So what I'm gonna do is 61733. I'm gonna select performance for that. Let's see here, 61.7. Why I have this here? Okay, 61.7 and 30.3. Okay, now I need to go to weather and request my weather, and I'm gonna request for departure Quito and for arrival Cuenca as well. It's just a very short flight, so that should do it. Okay, so we've requested that. Now we need to wait, and there it is, company message already there. So we go back to receive messages, and here it is 030 at 2, 17 degrees, makes sense, and 1027. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that here, 1027, 7920, that is okay. Okay, and for Cuenca the weather is okay as well. Perfect. So 0302 17 1027, and I'm gonna set here departing from Sierra Echo Quebec Mike, runway 36, temperature 17, and is 1027. And damn, I have a very bad memory. What was the wind again? Wind again, 030 at 2. Okay, that's a very light wind. Alright, 030 at 2. All the rest is gonna be a standard, so we're gonna request that. And in the meantime, we are going to program our box real quick. Aircraft status is okay, clear GPS primary in it. So we are going from Sierra Echo Quebec Mike to Sierra Echo Charlie Uniform. I'm not interested in alternates. I'm gonna enter just A320 as a flight number, because the index I will just use 60. I'm gonna be cruising at 260. Temperature there is gonna be around -26. Tropopause in this area is approximately 55,000. And let's go with flight plan. We are gonna depart from runway 36 on the Quebec 3 Bravo. Here it is. So I'm gonna insert that. And I'm gonna cross-check that is climbed to 10,500 on course of 001, then turn to FPEG to cross at or above 180, and then Rebec at or above 250. So all that is correct. And then I'm gonna do the RNAV 6 from Copti, and we will talk about this once we are in the air. We'll clear this discontinuity, and that's it. From Rebec is the end of the seat. Copti is the start of the approach. So we are all good here. Now vertically, this is a high elevation airport, so we need to change that. It's not 250 below 10, it's gonna be 250 below 18. So we're gonna insert that. And for the descent also, let's use this one here. We need to change as well because Cuenca is also a high elevation airport, so it's actually a little bit higher. So it's 250 below 19, the restriction in Cuenca. So I'm gonna insert that as well. Okay, so those restrictions are inserted. Radio navigation we are not gonna use today because we are trying to simulate a very modern way of navigating, which is RNP. And for that we don't need anything other than the GNSS. And init B, we need to enter our zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight CG, which I believe is 56,839. And if we confirm that 56,839, that is totally correct. Plus 49 for fuel, cross weight 51,730.3. 61,733. 61,733. And let's see. All right, that's the cabin ready. Good, thank you very much. And let me see. Looks like we have an company message there. That must be the performance that we requested. Performance, yes. Okay, so 36 to a headwind, anti-ice off backs on 17 degrees 1027. 61,730.3, that's all good. Okay, so let me use this one here to load the performance here. So V1 147, VR 147, and V2 is 150. I'm gonna clear GPS primary here. Flaps 2, and flex temperature is 52, so I'm gonna use that 52. 203 is the clean speed, which is all right. And what else? Okay, down 0.4 is our trim, so let me set that right here, down 0.4. okay, we have that set. All right, so we have our performance data. Thank you very much. I'm gonna leave the first officer CDU on the flight plan page. So we have our performance. Transition altitude 18,000 is correct. Thrust reduction 9410, that is correct because the airport elevation here is 7910 plus 1,500 is 9410. And acceleration, I'm gonna do this. I don't want to accelerate going here in the wrong direction. I'm gonna wait to accelerate until I'm turning southbound already. So we need to cross 10,500 or above here and then turn. So in the turn, we will climb another, I don't know, 1,500. So 10,500 plus 1,500 is 12,000. So I'm going to set acceleration here at 12,000. So /12, and that should be pretty much a good point to start accelerating. And that is our performance. Our progress page, we only need here as a reference the runway 36. That should give us 0. Perfect. Not gonna bother with secondary flight plans, not gonna bother with alternates, with any of that. Okay, now let's see. Flaps 2. Setting flaps 2. Setting TCAS and transponder. I'm gonna enter here some sensible code. I'm gonna set here predictive wind shear to auto, arm the speed brakes, and I think all there is good. Here I'm gonna set to max the auto brake. I'm gonna do a takeoff configuration tests, and everything is normal. And here is 1027. Yeah, 7930, that is correct. 7920, 7930. Oh, that is good. Flight directors are on, constraints are on. Speed and lateral is in managed. Altitude, I'm gonna set 260 and is managed as well. And constraints for the flight first officer as well. So all that is set, and finally up here we need the strobe lights on, we need the landing lights on, and all the lights on, all the signs on. Okay, so I think we are ready to go. So let's see. Before takeoff checklist, flight instruments are checked, briefing is confirmed, flap setting is configuration 2. V1, VR, V2, 47, 47, 50, and flex is 52. Radar predictive wind shear is on. Transponder is set. ACAN memo is takeoff now blue. And below the line, takeoff runway is confirmed at runway 36. Cabin crew is advised TCAS is TA only. Engine mode selector is normal and packs are on. Before takeoff checklist is complete and we are ready to go. So without further ado, let's do this. Parking brake releasing. And I'm gonna set this as my flight time. And let's go. Okay, about 50. There we go. Engine stable. Okay, manual flex 52, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust is set. $100 knots.
Lead 1.
Rotate. Positive climb, gear up. NAV. Autopilot 1. Okay, perfect. So here we are, nice and easy on our climb out. So next thing I need to see here is at 9,410, which will be climb thrust. There it is, lever climb. So let's go ahead and set that. Thrust climb, auto thrust. Next thing we need to see is passing 10,500, starting the left turn. And yeah, we are not accelerating. So that is good, because it doesn't make any sense to accelerate when you're going in the opposite direction. Is not efficient. Anyway, we are approaching 1050 for our left turn. There it is, 1050, and there is the turn. Beautiful. And we can cross-check that in our thruster chart, and we can maybe bring this airplane position. There we are. Good. Okay. And we said acceleration will be at 12,000, so let's see how that works. I think at least we will have completed half of the turn by the time we will start accelerating, so that's good enough. All right, beautiful. Let's see over here. That is the city of Quito, the capital of Ecuador in South America. And yeah, our departure airport should be somewhere in that area. There it is, 12,000, starting accelerating, open climb. We've crossed F speed, so we can go ahead and select flaps 1. Nice and easy. Let me increase the range here a little bit. There we go. Let me set arc. Okay. So next waypoint is FPEG, and we need to cross that at 18,000 or above. Are we gonna make it? Yes. I will explain why in a second. We are crossing S speed, so let me go ahead and set flaps 0. Okay, so let me retract the ground spoilers here, and let me turn off the runway turn off lights and these taxi lights as well. And before we keep talking, after the takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, flaps retracted, packs are on. After takeoff checklist complete. Okay, so how did we know that we are gonna make this restriction? Because we have this waypoint here, the magenta waypoint, or pseudo waypoint is what it is. It's a magenta pseudo waypoint that is showing where we are gonna cross 18,000. So it's gonna be slightly before FPEG. FPEG we are going to cross. We can also refer to our CDO here, and as long as it's magenta, the star, it means that, this one, sorry. Magenta means that the computer is predicting that we are going to comply with this restriction of 250 until flight level 180. And in FPEG, it's showing that we are been crossing at 182 actually. So that is quite good. Okay, speed brake is still, speed brake is why speed brake? I think we retracted the speed brake. Okay. All right, speed brake is retracted now. Is it? Yeah, let me see. There we go. Okay, speed brake is retracted now. Okay, so yeah, I was saying here means we are gonna comply with that, and here means we are gonna comply with that as well. So good. And this is the indication that's our top of climb. So we're still 4 miles from FPEG, and we're almost at 180. So we've made that restriction. Next restriction will be REVEC at 250 or above. So here we are, 2 miles before FPEG, and we are already at 18,000. And that's also our transition altitude. So I'm gonna hit standard there and standard here. And crossing flight level 180 and still 1 mile before FPEG. So we've complied with that. Next restriction will be 250, which is not going to be a problem because we're going to be level at 260 even before that. So we are sure that we are going to comply with 250 or above at REVEC. At this point, we are accelerating as well to our climb speed of 327. So let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much accurate. And very good. RNP1 is required. We're still in accuracy high, so we are complying with everything. All right. There we go. Nice. That here is the Cotopaxi volcano, the highest active volcano in the world. Sweet. All right. So that was nice, and that kind of that's a simple leg type. It's a course to altitude, what we did on our departure, and that kind of navigation is not yet possible in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. The modification that we used in my previous video is really good. The fly-by-wire A320, they've done a terrific job, but still for this kind of stuff, still a lot more, a big chunk of work to be done until we get there. PMDG is good in that respect, and FsLabs is also very good in that respect. And for the approach, that's when PMDG is not yet there, but FsLabs is clearly there. So okay, we still have about 6,000 feet to climb. Let me start talking with you about the arrival, because there are some things that we need to talk about. And as you can tell, the top of climb has been moving forward, but still we will comply, because remember, top of climb is at level 260, and we only need to cross Rebek at or above 250. So that's it. Departure is done. We're finished with that. So let's go ahead and talk about the RNAV arrivals. So let me show this chart here. Okay. So we're going to keep monitoring our ascent, our climb, and we're going to talk about this RNAV RNP to runway 6 in Cuenca. All right, so all the dates and all that is correct. I'm not interested in that. The missed approach climb gradient 243 feet per mile. We can accomplish that in this airplane. So it's an RNAV approach. Final approach course is 055. UXAT is the final approach point, and 10,300 over there is mandatory. And RNP 0.2 to a decision altitude of 8,900. Airport elevation is 8,300, runway 8,300. All that is good except this part, RNP 0.2. If we go down here below, we have two options, RNP 0.2 and RNP 0.3. With the software that we have currently installed in this FsLabs version of the A320, we can only go down to 0.3. So that is what we are going to do today, RNP 0.3. Hopefully in an upcoming update, we will get the software update that we need in order to do RNP 0.2. But for today, RNP 0.3. However, that is still enough to what we need. Okay, let me see here. Stop of climb, keep moving forward. And but still, okay, Rebek now is predicting that it's not gonna comply. Rebek says we're gonna cross at 249, which is not nice. So I'm gonna select speed here. I'm gonna force the airplane to climb a little bit faster, so we comply with that restriction at Rebek. Okay, so remember on the climb thrust is maximum climb thrust. The only way we can increase our climb rate is by playing with our speed. So if we select the lowest speed, we will increase our climb rate, and that is exactly what I'm doing here. Now it's let's see. I still think we can Mach 72. That was the macros over point, so it changed to Mach, or did I switch to Mach? Not sure if I did that or not. Let's see here, 32777. Okay, so there we go. We crossed the 250 now. So I'm gonna manage speed again, and we in that way we confirm that we crossed the restriction at Rebecca. Okay, so now we can go back to discuss our approach. All right, so I was saying the difference between 0.2 and 0.3. What we need to do 0.2? We need a few more stuff. The more visible one will be the lateral deviation scale here, that we do not have in this software version of the Airbus A320. And that's one of the main reasons why we cannot go lower to 0.2. We can do only 0.3. Other than that, for the missed approach, climb to 16,000 via the RNP track to Locus and continue on airway IFA 566. After Q867 at 11,000 or higher, you can initiate a new RNP approach via Kbif at 13,000 or higher. Then the missed approach climb is minimum at that. Okay, so missed approach overlays for final approach. Right, so basically, this is the approach procedure. We're coming southbound from Copti. We will do this, we will do this, and we will do this. And that's for runway 6. If we have to do a missed approach, we will continue on this missed approach track. And once we are over this point here, we can opt to continue to Kbif at 13,000 and do another approach like this. Or we can do the missed approach procedure and continue all the way to here to Locus and then continue on Alpha 566. And that's basically implying that you will go to the alternate, and the usual alternate for this place is Guayaquil, which is out and at sea level. So that is the missed approach procedure. Transition level is by ATC, transition altitude is 18,000. On the notes, very important notes here, special aircraft and aircrew authorization is required, and the airplane is authorized, the crew is authorized, so we are good. RF is required. What is RF? RF is radius to fix. So these turns here, that's a radius to fix, and this turn here is a radius to fix, and this one, this curved segments, all those are radius to fix, and this airplane with this software is able to do that. That's one of the things that is missing in PMDG. They cannot accomplish this kind of RF legs, so they cannot do this procedure there. All right, let me continue. Uncompensated barobi nav, that's as procedure not authorized below 5 degrees or above 47 degrees. Temperature was nice. I can't remember how much it was, but it was between 5 and 47, so very good. Unselect QVR. From cockpit to Vugni, RNP1, and then RNP 0.5, and finally RNP 0.3. Okay, so all that is good. Now, let's go ahead and cross-check all this. So, Copti, 18,000 or above, and yep, 18,000 or above. Cool. 428. Let's, you know what, before we do that, let me just enter the send information here. So let me review my weather for Cuenca. 180 at 15 degrees 1027. Okay, so let me set that here as a reminder. It's the same, 1027. Okay, 183 15 1027. I hope I remember all that. Okay, 1027 15 180 at 3. Transition level is 180. and the minima is gonna be for RNP 0.3, 9,400. So I'm gonna set that here, 9,400 for the minima on barrel. Okay, so once again, let's confirm that we have selected 250 below 190. We have. Let's go ahead here and set Sierra Echo Charlie Uniform runway 06 as a reference here. Now we know that we are gonna need 0.3 on the RNP, so we enter that here, and in the predictive it should say, just to make sure that we have the satellites 1536. Okay, so it should say here yes or no for the satellite availability. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but anyway, it's checking now. We've parsed it manually at runway 6 in Cuenca at 1536, which is our ETA, and all the satellites are available. So that's one of the things that we need to check in this procedure. So we are all good with that. 14 miles to go for the top of descent. And what else can we do at this time? I think we've done everything. Okay, we just need to check and cross-check everything versus the chart. So let's continue doing that. So again, copy 180 or above, Q428 170 or above, Whitney 166 or above, CBOP 14,500, 14,300 or above. Okay, Q424 13.4 or above. Good. Q424, Q422 12.6, Kupa 11.1, Q415 10.6, then UXAT at 10.3, and here is the interesting thing, 2.9, that is the, okay, we are approaching the top of descent here, so let's set here descent to 180 initially, so thrust idle descent. And here we go, we're starting our descent initially to 180, and we'll switch that later. Okay, so again, as I was saying, that's the important stuff. This 2.9, that is our flight path angle, basically, to cross CU 411 at 8830, I think it is 8830, and then for runway 6. Good, so UXAT is our, I'm gonna set in fix here, UXAT, and I'm gonna enter a 2-mile ring just to make sure that I completely can identify which is my final approach point. That is the place where we need to arm the approach mode once we have this waypoint as a 2-waypoint. Okay, the minima is set. Auto brake, we were gonna need medium because it's a very short runway. Is only 6,200 feet or 1,900 meters long at 8,400 feet elevation. So that's a pretty short, relatively short runway for this type of airplane anyway. Okay, so copy, we are gonna make it 18,000 or above. So next thing, I'm gonna set 17,000 or above. I'm gonna change this to 100. Okay, and before we continue, let me do the approach checklist. Okay, briefing is confirmed. ECAM status is checked. Seat belts. See, they are on. We never turn that off. Minimums 9400 set. Engine mode selector is normal baro ref, that is below the line, and that is good. So our approach checklist is okay. So 19, we are reducing the speed. It was 250 below 19,000. So here it is leveling off to comply with that. And all the lights again on, seatbelt on, and we are good there. Okay, so I'm gonna help a little bit with the speed brake here, extending the speed brakes to help reducing the speed to 250 or below at 190. Okay, now let me switch the range back to 20 here. Thrust is at idle. Let me go back here. Okay, progress accuracy is high, 0.3. That is all good. Okay, now we are almost there. We are gonna make 17,000, so I'm gonna set the next one is very close. The next one 16.6, so I'm gonna go ahead and set 14.3, which is the next restriction. 14.3, okay. Good, approaching 18, so let's go ahead and select 1027, 1027, and with that, below the line on the approach checklist, baro ref 1027, approach checklist complete. All right. So still with speed brake out, we are a little bit high on the vertical deviation there, but we are catching up. Very good. Right. So let's see. Okay, his guy has the terrain. No, terrain on this side. Okay, I'm not gonna turn terrain on this one because it interferes a little bit with the information. Right, so Putney 16.6, and we are crossing that. Next restriction CBOP at 14.3, and that's the deceleration point as well. Good, so far so good. The big difference how we fly my previous video, manually flying raw data versus this fully managed, fully automated RNAV RNP-AR approaches. Really interesting watching the automation do its work. Okay, we're gonna cross CBOP at 14.3. Next one is 13.4, so I'm gonna set that one here, 13.4. And we should start decelerating soon as well. There we go. We are starting to decelerate, and this is the vertical deviation scale already here. And something very similar to this one will be the lateral deviation here that we need to go to do RNP-AR approaches with less than 0.3 on the required navigation performance. So until we have that, we are limited down to 0.3. That's what we are doing today, and that's why we have our higher minima of 9400 here. Okay, looks like it's gonna need a little bit of help again, so I'm gonna extend the speed brakes a little bit more to help again with the deceleration. So we're crossing 13.4, we're crossing 14.3, we're good. Next 12.6, so I'm gonna set that here. At this point, it's important to set the minima so that the computer doesn't capture the altitude, so you have to keep setting the lower minima. If it captures, it will go into alt here, alt start or something, and that is not what we want. Okay, stowing the speed brakes now. And flaps 1, speed check. Flaps 1. So let me see what happened with, okay, we are already in approach phase. So let me speed select here. S speed, about 185, okay. Okay, so this is an RF leg, radius to fix. All right, so flaps 2, speed checked. Flaps 2, and selecting 160 here. Okay, so 11.1 or above, we are good there. 11.1. And now it looks like we are very high, but we still have some time to configure. So there's the runway there, and we are kind of in a downwind, entering a downwind scenario here. And this UXAT, that's our two-way point. That's when this one is the active waypoint, we will arm the approach mode. Okay. Very good. So let's set 10,600 is the next restriction. Then 6. And actually the next one is going to be 10.3. So I'm going to set 10.3 because they are very close together both. Okay, beautiful. So you always have to monitor the RNP. It cannot exceed more than 0.3. And right now it's 0.02. So it's really, really accurate. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Okay, gear down, flaps 3. Arm, speed brake. And I'm gonna switch this. Okay. And manage speed. And that is to help me get down. This also indicates that we are ready to arm the final approach mode. But technically, UXAT has to be the two-way point before we can do that, because that's the final approach point. Okay, so now 10.6, there it is. 10.6 is the restriction up until this waypoint. We still have 2 miles for that. Okay, and let me select flaps. So altitude constraint star, that is correct. So it will respect the 10.6 constraint, which is good news. And let me select flaps full. So in the configuration, we are all set. We don't need to do any more changes. And after passing this, we can arm here the approach mode. And then we can set the missed approach altitude here. Because then in approach mode, it will not capture the altitude there. So almost there, almost there. Very good. Now, UXAT is the active waypoint, approach mode is armed, final approach mode is there. And now I can set, I'm gonna set 13,000 as the missed approach altitude. In case we need to do another try. All right, as you can tell now, we are all good. Maximum vertical deviation here is plus minus 75. Okay, now during these turns, especially is when we need to check that we maximum 0.3. But take a look, it's only 0.03, so it's very, very accurate. Okay, 9,400 is our minima. That will happen around halfway there, so we should be ready to disconnect. And there it is, that's the runway there. So runway is in sight. we are ready to disconnect and continue visually. If we could do 0.2, we will go down to 8.9, which is somewhere here. So pretty much until we are facing the runway. But that's okay. Runway is in sight, 100 above is checked. We're fully configured. Landing checklist. Land checklist is complete. Okay, disconnecting. And flight director off. And the rest is just visual. But we still have the vertical deviation, which is really, really nice. Okay, there we go. I see 3 reds, so I'm gonna correct that a little bit. Okay, now it's 2 and 2. Very good. Okay, landing checklist is complete.
500.
Checks. Again, correcting 2 and 2. And this is a very short runway, so we really want to land on the touchdown zone.
400.
Checks. I don't want to go too high in this one, so correcting again for glides.
200.
Check. Okay.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard.
Reverse. Diesel. $80 knots. Manual braking. Okay, I'm gonna stop my flight timer, and that means we've done exactly 34 minutes in this flight, which is pretty accurate, pretty realistic. And now we're gonna do a U-turn here and go back to parking. Okay, there you go. Now we're going back to parking. I'm not gonna do that either, so I'm quite happy with the exercise. That was to show you what an RNP-AR procedure is like. So yeah, very interesting, very nice. This curved approaches allows this kind of operation into these places where they are very tight, confined by the mountains around the runways. So this is a very, very nice and safe way to fly here. All right, so that was the RNP-AR procedure with authorization required. I hope you like it. Comments always appreciated. You know the deal. Like, subscribe, and pass along the information about these videos if you think they are valuable. And thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you the next time. Have a great day.